This is one of my most requested videos, Pilates for hips, thighs, and glutes. In this short beginner-friendly workout, we are going to stretch and strengthen all these and more. And if you have a magic circle, you're gonna wanna get that ready to go. I'm Hannah Ray from Clarity Pilates. Let's work our hips and get on the mat. Like I said, if you've got a magic circle, you're gonna wanna have it out, but if you don't, no worries. You can use a block or even a pillow instead. So we're gonna take our circle and place it between the thighs to begin. And if you have a block or a pillow, you'll do the exact same thing. Whatever you have, you're gonna squeeze your legs together like crazy and then slowly release them back apart. We're gonna repeat this several times. And you want to make sure that when you're releasing, you're not collapsing. You'll feel that if you slow down the release and pull your legs apart slowly, you're going to get a ton more engagement through your hips and inner thighs. This is also true if you're using a block or pillow instead of the magic circle. And it might be a little bit more difficult just because your legs won't move as much during the exercise, but the same principles apply. Another note is that you'll want to check out your tailbone. Sometimes as we squeeze, we really tuck the tail, lifting it up off the mat. If you can, leave the tail down so there's just a tiny bit of space underneath your low back. Let's all meet now in the squeeze, so legs really pressing towards each other, and we're gonna pulse in, nice and fast. Pulse 3, 2, 1, hold the squeeze, lift the head. We're gonna start pumping the arms, going right into the 100. This is gonna be pretty intense sensation on your inner thighs, so if you need to release your pillow or circle, go ahead, but if you can, stay with me. Breathe through it. You are almost there. Halfway there. Keep breathing. Keep those arm pumps strong. If you need to rest your head down on the mat, that's perfectly okay. Just keep the arms going. Keep squeezing your thighs together. Last deep breath. You got this. And then rest the head down. Release the legs apart. Nicely done. You can set your prop aside for now, and we'll all meet lying on our backs with our right leg pointed up to the ceiling. We're going to take that leg down the middle and circle it out, around, and up for single leg circles. You can extend the opposite leg if that feels good for you. We'll all meet at the top and then reverse the circle's direction, bending the knee if that helps you get into your hip. Hug that knee into the chest now. Give a nice squeeze, and then we'll switch to the other side. Leg goes down, around, and up. 5 circles each direction, making any adjustments that make the exercise feel the best for you. Lovely. Hug that knee in, give it the same squeeze, and then we'll bring both knees into the chest and you can rock up to sitting. You can grab your circle again if you have it now and place it around your legs. And if you don't have the circle, just hold your ankles. We're gonna rock back and forth and rolling like a ball here, and no matter where you are, I want you to start pressing the knees out. You'll either be pressing them into the circle or into the container of your arms. Either way, this should activate the outer hip and help you scoop your stomach even deeper. Hold a balance at the top, and then you can take that circle off your legs if you used it. We'll all just lie back down, knees into chest. You can lift your head up and take both hands to the right leg, aiming the knee in line with your armpit. We'll extend the opposite leg out and start to switch them back and forth for single leg stretch. Notice if you tend to want to pull the hip across the body or let it splay out to the side. We're really going to focus today on lining that knee up with the armpit for a deep and healthy stretch. We'll do about 2 more on each side. And then you can hug both knees into the chest for double leg stretch. So now arms and legs reach away from each other and hug back in. You still want to make sure that you're lining both those knees up with your armpits when you bend. Last 2. Last 1. Rest the head and take a breath. Sitting up now for a variation on spine stretch forward. So I will right away suggest if you're stiff at all in your hamstrings, please bend your knees. And we're gonna do this in a flat back today. So just leaning a little bit forward. You wanna make sure you're not leading with the neck. So let's keep everything in really good alignment. This little movement is really gonna ask our hip flexors to activate. So normally we would round the spine here and lead with the head, but today we're doing a different focus where we go up to go forward and the range of motion will be quite small. It might be helpful to think that all you're trying to do is sort of add to the crease in your tights where your hips connect into your legs. This is also amazing for strengthening your postural muscles. We're really getting 2 birds with 1 stone. Let's relax the arms now. Roll the shoulders out if you need to. We'll all meet lying on our bellies, fists pressing together. You're just gonna bend one knee, pulling the heel as close to your booty as possible, and then alternate to the other side, back and forth. Stomach stays super strong here, pulling up and in off the mat. And you can imagine your tailbone pressing down toward your heels. This exercise activates the glutes and hamstrings, as well as lengthening out and stretching the front of your hips. Let that go now and sit back on your heels. And for today's focus, you really just can think that your booty is heavy, heavy, heavy onto the heels, and your back can drape forward and totally relax. Coming out of that now, we'll all meet lying on our side, head propped in the hand, knees bent. You'll open the top knee and close it down for clamshells. We want to make sure here that we're not using the whole body to do this movement. It's very isolated. Just the knee lifts and lowers, the pelvis stays still. And after you do this a couple times, you should really start to feel some warmth coming right into your hips and glutes. Similar but different now, we're going to keep the knees together and lift the foot and shin. So these are our reverse clamshells. They help us work our hips' internal rotation, which is often overlooked. So if this feels harder for you, you're not alone. Many of us are weak in this range of motion. Well done. Let's straighten the top leg only. Let the blade of that foot rest on the floor. And then we'll just lift the leg to the height of the hip and lower it back down. Each time you lower, we're looking for a gentle stretch on that outer hip and thigh. Last 3, 2, and 1. We'll hold and make 5 little circles. And then reverse and go the other way. You're almost there. Keep breathing through it. Nice. Bend the knee and take a breath. And we'll switch to the other side. So starting with our clamshells, the knees open and close. Nice deep breaths here. Keep the pelvis as stable as you can. You can notice as you go if this side feels any different. It's really normal for us to have a stronger hip, just like it's normal for us to be right or left-handed. Coming into our reverse clamshells now, lifting the shin and foot up, keeping the pelvis as stable as possible, and remembering you can do this pretty small. Most of us do not have a lot of range of motion here. Keep it active in the hip and do what works best for you. Straightening that top leg out now, letting the foot rest on the floor. We'll just lift to the height of the hip and then lower with control. We really want to make sure we're doing this movement smoothly, and it's important not to go too high, as fancy and satisfying as it can feel to really hike the leg up there. You want to keep it small for today so that you can get into the deeper muscles of the hip. Leaving the leg up, we'll take 5 small circles each direction. Really pull your abs in to help you stabilize. Last 3, 2, 1, and bend the knee. Beautiful, you made it. Whew. Give your leg a little love, and then we'll all meet lying on our backs for the 10-10-10. So right leg is extended and externally rotated, and we're just squeezing the legs together like crazy. After 10 seconds, we'll lower to the calf and do the exact same thing here, activating outer hips and inner thighs. Last round at the ankles, squeeze for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and bend on 1. Same on the other side right away. Rotate out, squeeze, and hold. 3, 2, 1, come to the calf and repeat. Nice, long, deep breaths. Keep the legs actively squeezing. We'll do one more set at the ankle. Squeeze and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, beautiful. Let's lift the hips right away to a bridge. You can tuck the shoulders under if that feels good for you. And then we'll just roll down, articulate the spine. Repeat this several more times, massaging out the back, and when you lift, you can squeeze the glutes to activate the hamstrings and booty. When you lift at the top, you can try to continue to have the tailbone reaching toward your knees, almost like you were going to tuck a little bit. This is going to help you stretch the front of your hip and keep any negative sensation out of your lower back. Now, if this is already a challenge, just continue. But if you've got the circle and want it a little bit more intense, squeeze the circle between your thighs and do some bridges there. You might find this a lot trickier. We want to squeeze the circle the whole time. So we're really holding a lot of squeeze between our thighs as we lift and lower the hips. You could do this with a blocker pillow as well. Taking a little breather if you need to. We're going to do one more. Here we go. So everyone lift to the top. We'll all hold and then lower down. Nice, slow, controlled release. And you are all done. Thank you so much for working on strengthening your hips with me. This is an amazing one to come back to and feel yourself get stronger each time. I also have a link in the description down below for some of my full-length online classes if you'd like to join me. And if you want to support more free workouts like this one, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to support our channel. Leave me a comment down below to let me know how you're feeling, and I'll see you next time on the mat.